As we know from previous games seen from Payload, he would be likely to go into a mech style, where he builds Widow Mine, Cyclones, and all sorts of things. Alright guys, also on the other side of the map we see that the Zerg player will be going for that hatch first, going into just a standard Zerg opening, getting that early metabolic boost for Zergling speed and map control, and sending his overlords across the map to get some vision as to what the Terran player will be going into. What do you got to say, Gravity?
This used to be one of my best maps ever, or best matches, I should say. Here lately I've been struggling against this, but do you think that the Zerg player would end up going for a quick third? I know that a lot of Zerg players like to get that quick third hatch up and then kind of go with a flood of lings and mix some bailings in there. Or do you think he might try to go a more standard route, try to get some, I guess, mutas, bane, ling kind of style? Or
Well, to answer your question, normally Zerg will react to what he sees from Terran player. We see the Zerg player actually drone scouting. Dave the drone will be making his way across the map. He's going to see the factory very, very early on, and that's going to give the Zerg intel. He knows that the Terran player does not have a second base. He does not know if it's in production or not, and so he's going to react accordingly. I do believe the Zerg player, the proper reaction would be to drop a Roach Horn, ensure he has ample queen production, and then maybe take a third if he feels ballsy enough.
Alright.
Yeah, the Roach Horn went down, but I don't think he knew that Payload took 2 gases as a Terran.
Yeah.
He might be expecting Hellions here, but it's gonna be a Cyclone 1 base.
Yes,
One base?
I've seen Payload do this before. It's very strong when it's executed. He gets the Cyclones, and then he mixes in these Hellions, and then he gets about, I would say about 6 to 8 of each, and then he just goes and storms, and it just seems like there's nothing that the Zerg player can do. It's such a strong. Oh yes, he didn't. That's a big scout off.
Cyclone knock-on.
So seeing this as a Zerg player, what's your initial reaction? You see Cyclones, you see, going for maybe a Banshee there.
I think it would be Spine Crawlers, and they're already up. Well, they were there for like Hellion protection. And we see another one going down.
So this push is coming. We got 2 Cyclones and 2 Hellions, and then some stragglers there. Do you think this is going to get too much done here, or do you think these Spine Crawlers are just going to shut this down?
Well, the Roach Horn's like already up. I don't think it'll get too much done. They won't be able to get any like drone kills or anything. Shouldn't anyways. Do we have roaches in production?
And we got 4 roaches on the way. The Queen's just free casting there on these Cyclones, but with the SCVs there, just able to kind of heal that up.
Oh, now I see why this build is strong. Ooh, that's not good for the Zerg player. That was a huge Widow Mine hit on the drones.
Oh yeah. He is able to get that second, so that's good. And then now he has a Banshee coming in. The only thing he really has is those 2 Queens, and if he can target them.
Those units, it's really hard to clear this up for the Zerg. But I think he will do it with the Spine Crawler. There isn't really much Payload can actually do with those units. And he will be pushing back for the time being.
So he's going to actually start expanding at it from this. You have that Cyclone actually kind of targeting down that Overlord finally.
Yeah, good thing to know though, 1 Cyclone doesn't actually kill an Overlord.
Oh wow. He's found
the second one right there though, to finish up the job.
Yeah. He is getting some good harass done here with that Banshee in the main. None of the Queens really react until now, and he doesn't have any spore crawlers just because of this pressure from the ground. So he was able to get some good kills there. They did finally get that, but it definitely paid for its worth in gold there.
Yeah, I think the spine crawler is actually gonna die unless it gets uprooted.
Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Yep. Rest in peace, spine crawler. You will be missed.
Served his purpose well. Alright, we got the Hydra coming in. So he's gonna go for a Roach Hydra play. Do you think he'll try to go Lurkers in this, or do you think he's just gonna stay strictly Hydra Roach?
I think it'll be like heavy Hydra. He sees that like 2 starports have been added by Payload. The Lurker response is against mech play, but like Terran Air is not exactly mech.
Yeah. But he is morphing in some Lurkers, so he may try to get something done there, but once he sees that all these Banshees and what I'm going to assume is going to end up being battle cruisers.
Yeah, I believe the Lurkers were morphed because he hasn't actually scouted the 2 starports yet.
Yeah, he only seen the 1 initial starport so far. He's gonna lose one of those Banshees if he's not careful. He does finally kind of pull back. And there's some Hydras kind of pushing this away, but spore crawlers galore, man, just everywhere. He is going to finally see these
two. Though, is the Zerg doesn't have any upgrades because he hasn't been able to mine off more than 2 gases.
Yeah.
So he won't be able to afford the +1 missile upgrades that Zerg needs, and he hasn't gotten the Hydralisk upgrade either.
Oh yeah, and he's kind of oversaturated in his main. He's got too many in one of the gases, as well as a little too many on his mineral patches, but he did actually get to finally scout these starports, so he can begin to kind of prepare for those. It does look like he may go for a heavier...
Yeah, it does look like he started the Hydra upgrade as soon as he saw them.
Yeah.
As well as adding on more spore crawlers. But for the time being, it looks like he'll just continue to drone up.
Yeah. And one thing to note too, 52 workers to 34. Normally as a Terran player, you're going to be behind in workers, but because of all the damage and stuff he's able to get, he has kept that worker below him, so that's definitely bad for the Zerg player here.
Yeah, even though like the Terran's up so much though, right now the economies are relatively equal because oversaturation is very rare.
Yeah.
And with the Overlord Changeling Scout, he knows the exact composition of Payload's army. Doesn't seem like Payload has noticed a single Marine in his entire unit composition yet.
Yeah, but he hasn't scouted the Ravens yet. Do you think that will change once he sees those? Do you think there's something that he would need to switch out once he sees those Ravens, or do you think with the composition he has, it should be good?
I don't think he has the gas to actually switch into any like air-related units. And Hydras are like, I don't know, Terran air mech's really scary once you get to mass Ravens. And like our Terran player is very much ahead right now.
From the look of it, it does look like he is ahead. He definitely has the army advantage here, but if he clumps up his units too much like that, and he's not doing so much.
Yeah, one thing to note, he doesn't have an overseer with the army, so he's gonna lose a lot of units to cloaked Banshee.
Oh yeah. I think at this point right now, the Terran player could literally like A move and get it. We do have a couple expansions though coming out from the Zerg player, so maybe if he can get those up and running in time, he should be able to get the economy, be able to get the units and stuff that he needs. But it's just gonna depend on when this Terran player decides to attack. He does have his fourth, where he could take his fourth, but so far just staying on the third, getting that saturated, and building it into a planetary fortress. So he's definitely going to try to make sure he has defense out there. Even adding on the additional starports, so he is going to go. It looks like he is going to go for a mass Raven. Just start replacing those units that he loses with Ravens. As they're just sitting there, they're just gaining energy, which is very scary for any player, whether you're a Terran player or Protoss player. That energy can just be used to unleash so much. So it's going to be interesting. He is pushing here, so we're going to see what kind of damage he goes. This could be game ending right here. He
can't lose any of these Hellions to the Lurkers though, or his army has no buffer.
Yeah, and he does. He loses all of those.
Oh, but the point defense share is really good.
Oh yeah.
And the auto turrets do a lot of damage to the Hydralisk. I believe it takes like 4 hits to kill one, just because of health regeneration. Once the Zerg loses his base, it's pretty unrecoverable at that point.
Oh yeah. Too bad Zerg doesn't have like a flying Veiling. That would probably help him out right now.
I don't know, those used to exist.
And there's the GG.
GG.
Payload brings it. It's going to be 1-1 now.
Watch me rain.